Hello, my name is Vedaste Mugisha. I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University through Kepler, and I'm going to talk about a project called Making New Managers. So in this project, I'll be talking about different things, and as my overview, I have five major functions of management as planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Moreover, I'll be having presenting more about the three management styles as directing, delegating, and discussing. So to start on, I'm going to start providing more details about planning as one of the major functions of management. So um, here I'm just going to talk about five major functions of management. The first one is planning. Planning as major function of management, deciding what need to happen in the future. Here it means someone I'm planning, I have the plan for today, I have the plan for tomorrow, plan for next week, and plan for the next month, the next year, and maybe in the 5 years. So, and also the generating plans for action. So here I'm planning in the future and I'm generating the plans for actions, which means what are the, like, this plan is going to result into this, which action is going to take place with this plan. So to talk about more about this planning as a major function of management, someone who is a good manager, someone who is a good manager has this function. He or she used to planning. This is one of the um, uh, function of management. Like a good manager need to plan what is going to happen today. You need to plan what is going to happen by tomorrow, and need to plan what is going to happen even in the 5 years, in the future, 5 years. So with this, I can talk about like an example of an example of someone who is planning. For instance, here at Kepler, where I'm studying, we have a academic manager. Like he take time and he provide different schedule, like the timeline or the schedule of what is going to happen maybe the next week in the 5 years, or maybe in at the end of the year. So this is the first. This person is there to sit and plan each activity of every single class. Which class is going to happen where? So if it is maybe a technology class, where is going to happen technology class, who is going to lead technology class, which session, which group is going to attend the technology class. The person, that academic manager, is a good manager because he has this function of planning. Also, a good manager should be or must be organizing, must show like organization um, ability. Organizing is implementing a pattern of relationship among workers and making optimum use of the resources required to enable the successful carrying out of the plans. To talk more about this, uh, like I was talking more about the planning, and if we have plans, we need people to organize those plans. So you plan something, but who is going to organize the people? I mean that plan. So a good manager needs to organize every single plan. For instance, we have maybe an event, a given event, and we don't have someone to plan for that event. So or to organize that event. So what is going to happen? People are going to do whatever they want in the event, and like it lead to misorganization. So a good manager needs to organize. So an example, so here at school, I'm just referring to school because I'm a student and just we use environment that we are in. So as the students, in case of graduation, every year we had a graduation ceremony, and in case of graduation, an operation manager needs to organize this event. So in the organization, he need to know, so like the timeline. So what is going to happen in this time? Who is going to lead this action? So what are the students who are going to perform? So what is going to be the next? Like have a timeline of how it's going, like how the event is going to be organized. Maybe if it's protocol things, like who are going to sit in this place, who are going to sit in this place, who are going to serve people, like something like that. These people has the task of those activity that I listed. So a good manager needs to have organization skills. So the third one is staffing. This one is also a major function of management. So staffing, like it's all about like the job analysis, recruitment, and hiring of people with the necessary skills for appropriate jobs. Also, it's providing or facilitating ongoing training, like if necessary, and to keep skills current. So the staffing is another function of managers. Each and every single management need to hire. For instance, like the an example is the human resource managers. So the human resource manager are there to in the organization to hire new employees. If there is the new employee who need to be recruited, those managers are there to do those activities. And if we have some of the skills needed by the employees, so human resources managers are always there as the staffing, as the function of management or the function of managers. So this is the third major function of management. Moving to the next one, here I'm going to talk about leading as a major function of management. Leading, determining what needs to be done in a situation and getting people to do it. So in this function, in this major function of management, so we are many people in one organization and we need someone to lead. So what am I going to do? Because so I was talking about planning, I was talking about organizing, things like that and staffing, but also leading is another necessary point. Because if you are 10 employees in one organization and in case we don't know what you're going to do, maybe a daily activity, this is going to be hard for us. But if you have a leader, someone who's going to show you, Vedaste, you need to do this, you like someone else, you need to do this, and you need to submit this at this time, and just things like that. This is going to help the organization move smoothly, and it's going to help also the employees knows what they are going to do. So moving to the last one, which is controlling, it's all about checking current outcomes against forecast plans and making adjustment when necessary so that goals are achieved. So in this major function of management, it's all about controlling. If you are a leader and you provide some of um, the task, so you also need to control how far your employees are doing those activities, putting into consideration what you told them to do. You tell them to do. So these controlling, uh, providing some of the necessary elements like uh, it empower a manager to show like to go through the each and everyone's employee's work and to see if maybe the employees are working doing what they're supposed to do. So for example, if you may given a task and in case no one is there to control, the task may not be done. The manager with this function are uh, preparing the check-ins, maybe planning the check-in with the employees and see how far they are, and make the meetings and you supervise and you track what they're doing, something like that. It's all about controlling. So those are the five major functions of management. So I'm going forward with another part talking about the management styles. Here I'm going to talk about three deeds like directing, delegating, and discussing. The first one is directing. So directing is the management style, consists of the following directions and listening where a manager tells workers tasks that need to be completed, how they can complete them and when they need to be completed. So in directing management style, it is a management style where a manager is just directing, showing the employees what they're going to do and when they're going to do that and things like that. So this management style has some of the strengths or advantages and some of the weaknesses or disadvantages. The first one, as a strength, it takes a short time for a manager to provide instructions. So if I'm a manager, I can even do many things because I'm going here, I provide instructions and I go. So, and I'm going here and I provide another instructions and I leave. So it's become easy for the manager to provide those only the instructions. As a weakness, the outcomes tend to be poor as the instructions are not enough done, showing the employees some examples. So like employees, they're going to do what they understand. Sometimes it becomes very hard for them, like to explore what is right. So this become also a very big challenge because the quality, the poor, their work can have like a poor quality. So here is a scenario. Emmanuel Sebakungu is an English teacher in college Amahoro de Kiziba. His students are always complaining that he does not do any mathematical exercises in front of them. He say that they say that he always provide more exercises and he provide instructions. So this is an example of this teacher, and he provide more instructions more than showing like the student what is going to do. So this is a scenario showing how he's directing on us only instead of uh, giving them the time and work maybe together, or just giving them what they need to do on them on. So delegating is another management style. It's all about providing, empowering the employees and let them, like giving them tasks and let them do whatever they want. So in this delegating, so as the strength, employees are empowered, and in case managers is not there, the job must be done. As the weakness, employees may think that they are equal to their managers. Also, it can cause some of the conflict in case some employees are empowered than others. So a scenario is that Silverian, who is an operation manager at Kepler, he has an operation assistant whose name is Patrick. Then, when students are done writing their request form, they submit them to operation assistant who is Patrick, and then Patrick reviews, which means Silverian as operation manager is not going through those requests. Patrick is there to go through those requests, and then operation manager provide only the money. So Patrick is empowered. This is another management style. So the last management style is discussing. This is a management style in which a manager interacts with employee and discuss about the problems and issues that need to be solved in the organization in order to maintain the wellness of the business. So the strength or the advantages of this is that the team are collaborating and they share the profit and the losses. So the weakness is that the employees may think that they are equal to their managers. So the scenario I can talk which is related to discussing is that like myself, I'm a learning coach at Kepler, and I teach technology in a new code. So on each Friday, I used to meet with my supervisor and we discuss how a week went. So in this meeting, I share how I think I will improve in the next week, and my supervisor share what she think may be productive for me as an employee. So this is a good example of discussing. We just discuss and we share different ideas. So thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation. So if you have some questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.